Speaker, I want to rise and actually also associate myself with the remarks of condolence that have been already expressed by members of this House. I want to say firstly that we know that Queenslanders deserve a health system that works. When ambulances turn up when you call, when scans are read on time, when you get a follow-up when you're supposed to get them, where every patient is treated with care and dignity. But that's not what's happening under this LNP government. And they're the words that have been used already in this, by the opposition leader. But what I want to address specifically in my contribution is part 4 of the amendment, which is about the management of the health system, and contrast that with the LNP performance. Because what we do know is that our health system is faltering under the LNP. What happened to Christine White is a symbol of what happens to ordinary Queenslanders under the LNP's health system failures. And another of the health system failures under the LNP is this. The hospital expansion program across Queensland has been delayed or abandoned, and the most prominent of those, of course, is the Redcliffe Hospital. Now, there's been a lot of community pressure put on the LNP and the local LNP member about this issue, and they've come up with an announcement. What they've done is they've said they're going to call for, they're going to put out a tender for a construction partner. Well done, good work. But what about this? What exactly is a construction partner? Is that like an equity partner or an investment partner? Because when I hear those words, we hear the code and we recognise that code. And we know what that code is for. Privatisation, it's code for sell-off, it's code for putting health services not in the hands of Queenslanders, but in the hands of multinational companies. The government, what we have. One of the things that we do know is that the LNP can't help themselves. We're back to the old LNP to cut, sack, and sell.
Mr. Speaker,
you know,
Mr.
when
Speaker.
government gets too hard for the LNP,
for Bancroft.
what do they do?
For Bancroft. I have a point of order.
My point of order, Mr. Speaker, I understand there is the allowance for a broad range of issues in relation to these motions, but I just ask whether this is entirely relevant to the motion as put forward, as well as the amendments as moved by the member for Clayfield.
Just on that, can I address a point of order? Just
you can convince me whether it fits into the motion that you're speaking to.
Speaker, what I'm doing is specifically addressing point 4 of the amendment, where the LNP motion have made comment on the management of the health system. I'm addressing that by contrasting that with the management of the health system under the LNP. And further, I've been addressing those issues of management that have been raised by previous speakers on this side.
I'll be listening very closely.
Thank you. Well, one of the things I do want, and on that issue of delivering a better health system, I want to say to the LNP on this, tell us why you have called for a construction partner. Why haven't you called for a builder? Why haven't you called for a builder to design and construct this particular hospital expansion? And the other question I've got is, when are you going to build it? That's a question people want to know. When is this hospital being built? And the other big question that people are asking is, how much is it going to cost? They talk about
Member for Bancroft, there is nothing in this motion about building hospitals. I would ask you to come back to the motion, please.
You had a good run, son.
Yeah, well, okay, thank you. Just clarifying.
Member for Bancroft, I made my ruling.
Okay.
Continue.
Speaker, one of the things I wanted to say is that Christine White is, she stands as a symbol of the failure of the LNP to properly manage their healthcare system on behalf of Queenslanders. And I also say that their failure to deliver the Redcliffe Hospital expansion stands as a symbol of their failure as well.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Because we know.
Point of order. The member is aware that that matter is before the Ethics Committee and is aware that those matters should not be discussed.
Just hold on 1 second. I'll take a bit of advice. Okay? Member for Bancroft, I would caution you not to stray in anything that might be in the Ethics Committee. I'm taking that member for Mermaid Beach is on the Ethics Committee, so I'm taking a little bit of guidance from that. So exercise a little caution there. Thank you.
The point of the...
Member for
just
Logan,
point of
you
order.
have a point of order?
Well, it's about influencing the Ethics Committee. Nothing to be put forward is in any way influencing the Ethics Committee.
Yeah.
Pardon? No.
Speaker.
Just asked him to exercise caution. That's what I did.
Speaker, in addressing
Member for
that,
Bancroft is back
I am
here.
very well aware of that particular issue in front of the Ethics Committee, and I have been at pains over the last week to avoid mentioning that particular issue about the Redcliffe Hospital expansion. What I do want to say in finishing is Ipswich Hospital, Redcliffe Hospital, what we're seeing across Queensland is the management of our system faltering. At our hospitals such as Ipswich or Redcliffe, particularly Redcliffe, people are waiting longer in an ambulance outside that hospital. They're waiting longer to see a specialist at a local hospital like Redcliffe, and they're waiting longer for their planned surgery at Redcliffe Hospital and other hospitals. That is a record of the LNP in Queensland. Christine White stands, as I said, as a symbol of everything that is going wrong with the LNP's management of our hospital system.
Just before I